Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. We've got more scary sounding XRP headlines based on short-term price action. Here's one from you today. XRP movement on chain tops 100 million tokens. Should market brace for sell-off? Look, so there's something that people are blaming all of this recent volatility on over roughly the last 24 hours. And I'm not convinced they're quite right. Not that it wouldn't be something that would be a consideration if you look at the totality of any given situation. There's usually a lot of moving parts. But in terms of what is being blamed for the the major move to the downside over the last 24 hours, not just for XRP, but for all of crypto, I don't think the timing matches up. So I'll show you what people are claiming as the catalyst for this. I don't think that it in and of itself necessarily did what people are claiming that it's doing. And also, and this is a fun thing to report on, XRP is actually, despite the pretty negative price action over the last 24 hours, XRP is actually up over the last 24 hours, and it is the best performing cryptocurrency out of the top 10 cryptos by market cap. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so you can see on my screen here now the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. And in case anybody's curious at the time of recording this, it is 7:34 p.m. Central Standard Time, because that's the time zone that I'm in. I'm in the good old Midwest in the United States here. XRP is currently at 37 cents. Bitcoin at $22,408. Market cap, $1.04 trillion. Bitcoin dominance, 41.33%. That part's not any different than what we've seen recently. Here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 50 out of 100. So edging on fear, but still technically at a level of neutrality. But take a look at this. This is the 7-day price chart for Bitcoin, and you can see last night, as we were approaching 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, just the price of Bitcoin just fell off a damn cliff. And really, I mean, here, I'll go back to the main page of Live CoinWatch. If you look on the right here, I'll just scroll down. You can see that almost all of these price charts for the last 7 days look exactly the damn same. Not literally all of them, but just about every single one of them. And here's XRP's 7-day chart. So yes, XRP actually did move down at about that same time period. You know, as you're approaching roughly 7:30 p.m. last night, March 2nd. It's March 3rd as I record this in the evening. Yeah, it moved to the downside, but XRP popped right back up. It's like whack-a-mole, man. Bitcoin, not so much, moving sideways, which is what almost everything else is doing. Okay, so what is actually going on here? Yes, well, I'm glad you asked. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Bitcoin registers largest hourly loss in 4 months. Altcoins follow. Investors have embarked on a modest buy the dip campaign after the recent price slump. Bitcoin recently registered its most considerable hourly loss of over 5% for the first time since the FTX blowout. The sudden price dip caused a ripple effect that saw several altcoins, including Ethereum, XRP, and Shiba Inu, record even greater declines. The firstborn crypto dropped by 5.42% today, its biggest hourly decline since the November crash. Consequently, Bitcoin's market cap saw a loss of $22 billion. Now, according to Santiment, this has triggered a buy the dip campaign from investors. Social platforms, including Twitter, Discord, Reddit, and Telegram, have seen an uptick in buy calls. Well, what do you know? You see a notable move to the downside, the worst hourly decrease that we've seen since the FTX Ponzi scheme all fell apart. And here's what Santiment tweeted out. It's been 4 months since Bitcoin dropped 5% or more in a single hour, but as of an hour ago, we saw this streak get broken. A quick recovery will be dependent on how much worry the crowd shows, allowing whales to scoop weak-handed coins. And folks, it's a tale as old as time. This is always what it is. It doesn't, and look, I'm not saying that things can't go lower. That's not the point. That's why I'm glad that I have my approach where I don't have to worry about the short term. I'm just a long-term dude. Whatever happens in the short term, it's like, you do you, girl. I'm just going to sit back and watch all you make a bunch of irrational, important financial decisions for yourself, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be doing any of that. But what always happens here, with prices fall, it's the weak hands that go, and then the whales jump in, and they take advantage of the cryptocurrencies that go on sale. It's always the same damn story. But what actually kicked this off? Well, I think this is being misattributed, and I'll explain why. I just think the timing doesn't make sense. But if you have data that perhaps I'm missing, hey, I'm always willing to be persuaded. I just, at this current moment, don't think that this really makes sense. Other than it could be another thing to throw onto the pile. But it may just be the case that it was time for, some sort of, downward correction anyway. But here's a headline from this morning from CNBC. Bitcoin Ether slide on Friday as investors weigh potential fallout from Silvergate woes. And so Silvergate is, you may or may not be familiar with the name Silvergate. I don't pretend to know a ton about them, but as it pertains to helping, money flow throughout the world of crypto, Silvergate is actually crucial in terms of liquidity just being available, like moving around. Liquidity management, really. They're a bank. And so anyway, piece reads as follows. And this is what everyone's blaming it on, and I'll explain why I don't think this makes sense. But anyway, here's how the article reads. Cryptocurrency prices fell on Friday as investors weighed the latest financial woes at Silvergate Capital and assessed what a potential bankruptcy at the crypto bank could mean for the broader crypto industry. The drop came late Thursday night, hours after several crypto companies said they'd stop accepting or initiating payments to or from Silvergate, including Coinbase, Galaxy Digital, Circle, Paxos, and Bitstamp. Silvergate, which has become the go-to bank for cryptocurrency businesses, gave notice Wednesday that it won't meet an extended deadline to file its annual report and warned it may not be able to operate another 12 months. And I'll just pause to pull up, this is, I got the 1 year price chart for Silvergate, publicly traded company, New York Stock Exchange here. And you can see it's been quite a bit to the downside. So close to a year ago, they were as high as $160. Current price right now, $5.76. Things not going so well. And this is unfortunate because they're an important part of this ecosystem. So the idea of, this bank reporting the way they did and then prices going down, that sounds plausible. But the problem is, like I stated a couple minutes ago, the timing doesn't really mess up. So I already showed you that, the price of Bitcoin and XRP and everything else, we were approaching roughly 7:30 p.m. last night. That's when the prices went down. But this news was known well before that. Look at this. Here, 12 hours prior to that, you're looking at a little before 7:30 a.m. Here's a thread from Coinbase. I don't really feel the need to read it, but they're talking about the stuff that's going on here, and I just I don't think that obviously the timing doesn't match. It clearly doesn't match. So what you're telling me that the news broke, Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States, they announced this, and then people are like, okay, yeah, cool, and then 12 hours later, global crypto prices start to plummet specifically because of this. I mean, the news was breaking throughout the day. So all I'm saying is that the timing doesn't line up. So if it's a thing that was extra scaring people and adding extra uncertainty, I'll buy that. But in terms of this being the catalyst, look, it's not like decades ago when when news broke. I understand people didn't have smartphones back then; they didn't exist. So you'd wake up, you'd read the paper, and then you'd get scared. But we don't have this delay typically. I mean, things happen very, very quickly, quite instantaneously. It's more like if there's bad news, markets just plummet. So there wasn't a response here. Now, this was also covered though by Rakesh Upadhyay, who is a chart analyst for Cointelegraph, and he wrote in part the following. The uncertainty regarding the future of the bank, talking about Silvergate, of course, and its overall impact on the cryptocurrency sector may have caused a knee-jerk reaction. However, if the contagion does not spread, the downside may be limited. Another positive for the cryptocurrency markets is that the United States equities markets are attempting to start a recovery. This suggests that traders continue to add risk to their portfolios at lower levels. This risk on sentiment may limit the downside in Bitcoin and select altcoins. And you know what? I say fair enough on that, other than, this idea of Silvergate being the catalyst for all this. But you have indeed seen pretty much sideways price action for most coins since the price dip about 24 hours ago. XRP is one of the few that was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to go to the upside anyway, which I don't mind seeing. XRP is my largest cryptocurrency holding, so don't mind seeing the positive move to the upside here. But if I could just say one more time though, I am so fortunate to be one of the people that doesn't see the daily volatility. Although I'm interested to follow it because I'm always interested in seeing what people are doing, and I just like staying in tune with it. I am so glad I'm not one of the people that will ever see the short-term, day-to-day price action, the volatility, and then just respond because other people are doing stuff. Not a freaking chance in hell. So you all do whatever you want. I'm going to do precisely, literally nothing other than just absorb the information and be aware of it. That's pretty much it. And some people got absolutely wrecked. I want to mention this too from the Daily Huddle. $250 million in Bitcoin and crypto liquidated as markets abruptly reverse. I'm just going to say right now that margin's the devil. I've never played with it. I'm never going to play with it. I just sit here thinking that the people that want, it's like, to what degree is greed entering your brain? Because the amount of risk that you're adding in what is the most volatile, which means most volatile asset class, but which also means the asset class with the most opportunity in the entire damn planet, that's not enough for you? Where you can buy something and it goes up in short order, hundreds of percent, over 1,000%. I'm sorry, this isn't enough. You want to get a margin position? No, thank you, sir. I'm Adam. I'll not be participating anyway. Anyway, piece reads as follows. A sudden plunge in the price of Bitcoin has triggered a deluge of liquidations across the crypto markets. According to data from CoinGlass, $250 million in crypto assets were liquidated as Bitcoin teleported, I kind of like that characterization, from 23,443 to 22,259 in a matter of minutes. Traders long on Bitcoin and Ethereum were hit the hardest, with $76 million and $40 million in liquidations, respectively. A specific catalyst for the crash has not been identified at time of publishing, although crypto markets continue to face macro headwinds. Yeah, so look, there are people leading up to this stating that, we're probably due for some sort of correction anyway, and there's always some sort of news piece that's good or bad that happens in conjunction with the stuff that probably otherwise would have happened anyway. So that's why people are talking about this being Silvergate, this or that, is be a crypto contagion spreading. Well, if it does, it does, but I just don't see these things linking up. I do see XRP behaving quite well in response to all of this, though. So I'm still excited to see what's going to happen for the rest of this calendar year. I still think that in a general sense, the blockchain backer, my fellow XRP YouTuber, I think what he's saying, as far as the bottom being in, and many other analysts saying similar things, I think they're most likely right. Outside of some sort of wild card event, or if the contagion really does spread, okay. But outside of that, I find those perspectives to be highly compelling. And while there's no guarantee, I look at that and I'm just like optimistic for the future. And we got the end of the SEC v. Ripple case. I'm here for it. I'm waiting to see. I don't pretend to know what's going to happen, but I'm very optimistic for the future for a reason. And I'm just as patient as when I jumped into crypto in November of 2017. I've never sold a single XRP, and I won't until I'm sufficiently enticed, and I'm nowhere near enticed. But when prices go lower, I don't feel more enticed. I feel less enticed. If the prices go lower, if anything, I'll become enticed to sell if it goes low enough. But, for me to get to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'll even consider selling a small portion of my XRP, you got to get above an all-time high. I'm not going to sell. I mean, if you start talking $4 to $5, maybe a tiny percent. Yeah, I'd sell a little bit of a percent. But then when you get up to $6 or $7, then I'm way more enticed, honestly. Because I've accumulated XRP in such a way that I don't, even if we just enter price discovery somewhere in that range, or maybe a buck or two even higher than those types of numbers I'm citing, for me personally, that's enough. And so I've taken on more risk in the short term over the last half a decade by accumulating the way that I have, but it also means that I get to exit that position and diversify further as a result. So that's the strategy for me. It's just accumulate heavily because I firmly believe in the long-term viability of the asset class, and I still think we're going to have another major alt season at some point, and just sit back until it happens. That's pretty much it. But if you guys got any theories, or you have some data that perhaps I'm missing, I'm not a know-it-all. So if you've got something I don't know, drop a comment below. I'd like to, share what I do know, but we're a community, and I love learning from all you too. So I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.